What's up, guys? My name is Matt, and this week, like every week on Saturday, I'm doing another Dear Bungie. If you're new here and you don't know what Dear Bungie is, or you've never watched Dear Bungie and you're not new here, Dear Bungie is where I basically do use a video and do an open letter to the content creators of Destiny, tag their Twitter handle in the title, and then talk about an idea of what I want to see in this game. So if you got your account tied to Twitter on YouTube and you leave a like on this video, it'll get tweeted at Bungie. So if you like this idea, I'd really appreciate it if you did that. But today's topic actually comes from a user, and I'm sorry, dude, I forgot who it was and I don't have a chance to look at it at this moment. But he suggested an open world PvP area, and I kind of am going to tweak on it a little bit and also kind of hit on the things that he had an idea. But I think he was more referring to Call to Arms, because that was last week's topic. But I like the idea, and I've mentioned it before in my stream, so let's talk about this and what I want to see. Basically, it would be... His suggestion was having somewhere on some planet being an open PvP world. I like this idea. It'd be awesome. All we have right now for PvP are the General, the Clash, the Control, the Salvage, the Rumble, and Skirmish. That's all we've really got. And we don't even always have all of those. So Salvage isn't always there, and sometimes we have Iron Banner. But I think an open world PvP would be a really, really cool idea. So as I see it, it would be on every planet. Every planet would have a region on it that is open PvP. If you don't know what open PvP is, basically anywhere you go, you can get killed by other players. Now, to kind of control this a little, make it a little balanced, and to where not everyone is trying to kill each other all the time, I think it should go back to the endgame faction idea and kind of build on that. I'm trying to tie everything all together, like Call to Arms, and maybe this could be one giant for the first 3 weeks of Dear Bungie. Tie all the three that I have, the endgame factions, the Call to Arms, and now an open world PvP. But I'd really like to see an open world PvP, but I want to have it tied to factions. And what I mean by that is your Dead Orbit, your Vanguard, your Future War Cult, whatever you chose, you have to wear it, and in that area you can't attack other people in the cult or in your faction. And maybe add a new one that is only for this open world PvP. Add a new one and make something specifically for that, but also keep the old factions, giving us a reason to level that up. And I want this to be level 20 plus content only. That way it's not some level 1 going and do an open world PvP. I don't know, maybe we should have separate playlists, like a level 5 to 10 playlist, a level 10 to 15 playlist, and so on and so forth, to at least keep it a little balanced so everyone has the same weapons, everyone kind of has the same gear and whatnot. But the open world PvP, you go to Earth, you choose the open world PvP area, and you go to Moon, you go to Mars, doesn't matter, and you choose it. And you land in, and it has patrols like every other one. It has missions, but at the same time, you constantly have to be on the lookout for other players. Now, you'll be indicated on your map with maybe green or blue circles. I would say blue dots, like in the tower, for what people that are in your faction, so you can team up with them and kill other players and do your missions and whatnot. And I don't want the missions to be too crazy. Not super difficult, like, because a boss that's a bullet sponge, someone could come up and just one-shot you in that. So I don't think that'd be cool, but maybe, like, have a boss where everyone's fighting each other, but also fighting to kill the boss, and the faction that wins gets more credit, more crucible marks, maybe a new form of reputation, something along those lines. And you'd have gear. And this open world PvP would allow you to, after you do so many missions, so many patrols in this area, so many kills on players, those kind of bounties, have bounties tied to it. It'd be just a mash of open world PvP and PvE mixed for those players that like both. Because we have the Crucible for the people that like PvP. We have the Raid, we have Strikes, we have Missions, we have Patrol for PvE players. And there's nothing for people like me specifically, who has a level 28 Warlock and a level 23 character that has never set foot on any of the planets and done any of the missions. He is level 23 purely through PvP. But I like that. I want to have one character that's strictly PvE. I want to have one character that's strictly PvP. And then if they added this whole open world PvP, I could then have a character that's tied to just that. And I thought that would be really cool. Like, that's why I want it to have a playlist, but I also don't want it to have, I don't want it to be just level 20s above, because now I'm taking back what I said before. I'd much rather see the playlist option, to where level 1 to 5, level 5 to 10, so on and so forth. You're like, okay, cool, you want open world PvP, but I like that idea, but what else could be added? So, there's bounties. Just general bounties. Kill if you go to your faction leader to get these bounties, it's not on the bounty board, it's at your faction leader. You go to them and it says, okay, kill 50 players that are tied to dead orbit, or 25 even. Or maybe it's kill, in general, 50 players while in this open world PvP area. Or maybe there's one that says, do 2 missions while not dying in the open world PvP area. And those kind of missions, like I said, would be very, very simple missions. Go here, examine this, maybe go into your part of dead orbit, go into the future war cult base to this open area and scan something. Now, it'd be difficult because there'd be a lot of players there. You maybe have to be stealthy. Something not too hard, but challenging. So there I covered kind of like, there you got bounties. You got bounties, cool. The patrol missions are kind of like normal patrol missions, but instead of your target being, like, for example, there's that one mission where it says kill vandals for those cores or whatever they're called, the rods, the induction rods. Kill vandals for induction rods. Instead, it's kill dead orbit tied players for these items, or kill future war cult and dead orbit because you're part of New Monarchy, and they will drop these things. Those kind of patrols. Maybe like each faction in those areas would have like a base, like they each spawn in their own region, and you have a base, and that's where you buy all your PvP open world gear. That's where your bounties. Maybe instead of going to your faction leader in the tower, you'd go to your faction leader in this open area, and that's where you get your gear. That's where you do everything. But maybe in there you have maybe some like boss-like targets where people have to team up in your faction to go kill them, and that's maybe where we could bring in the call to arms, where it's like, okay, call to arms, take out the dead orbit leader or the dead orbit higher VIP. There's so many things that Bungie could do with this, and I'd love to see it happen. I know you guys got ideas for this as well. Put them in the comments down below of what you want to see. If you like this idea of the open world PvP aspect, there's bounties you could tie to this. There's just straight up just kill things. You go out in the open world. There could be nooks and crannies that you could take up, higher spots, tops of mountains, overlooks, kind of those kind of things. Open areas with like little mini bosses everywhere. Just open PvP, PvE mix. I'd love to see that in this game. I think that's something that really needs to happen. Tie it with call to arms. Tie it with the endgame factions idea that I have. Make this a way for PvP players to get level 30s to where they don't have to do the raid. That's how everything can all be tied together. All my ideas so far tied into one. And I'm going to try to like make this and continue this Dear Bungie series where I tie everything together all at once. I think that'd be really cool. So if you guys like this idea and you're new here, click the subscribe button. If you're not new here, leave a like, leave a comment. If you guys want your idea featured, let me know. Give me an idea. What do you guys want Bungie to add? This isn't just my ideas. This is your guys' ideas as a community as well. So go ahead and add that. Let me know what your ideas are. Let me know what you think about this. Leave a like, especially if your account's tied to tied to Twitter on YouTube, because it'll get tweeted at Bungie. And maybe way down the line, we can get Bungie's attention on an idea like this, and they will implement it in the game. But also, if you're new here, or if you're not new here and you just don't know, down in the description, there's a link to the stream. Come watch the stream Tuesday through Saturday, about 11:30 p.m. to around 3 or 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. But I hope you guys like this idea. This is an every Saturday thing. But until next time, guys, see ya.